Well, hello there, people. Teacher Joko here, and I'm going to do a lesson and discussion of Task 1 and what to do and what not to do. I gave it this title here, somewhere up there. It's clickbait, really, more than anything, I suppose. But, and not in any, let me start by saying that the bipolar disorder is a serious condition, which I'm not making light of. I'm using it as an analogy to something we see. Well, this example report we're going to look at has a lot of problems, but it's the bipolar I speak of is the highest and lowest. Whoops. No, let's wait, go back. No, yeah, 2. Okay. And don't be a slave to the highest and lowest. Someone out there is teaching people, well, when you look at the graph, just look for the highest and lowest, and those are your main features. No. Sometimes. But not enough that it should be like a rule. We'll see what our user does here. Okay, and here is the graphic that was presented as our question. It's a beginner's practice question. It's not a real Cambridge IELTS Task 1. And you really should be just using those. There's dozens and dozens of them to choose from. So this type of graph here, you'll find it. I've seen it before. Oops. Yes. Right. Yeah. Right. Okay. In IELTS preparation textbooks, I am an IELTS teacher, and I've seen things similar to this in like the lower level to get people familiar, just get them started. And I suppose it's good for practice. I mean, that's what it is. It's practice. But don't expect to say something like this in the exam. Why? Well, it's too simple. It's only got 12 data points. Okay? What I mean by that is there's 3 elements and over 4 years. 3 times 4 is 12. 12 data points. Problem with 12 data points is that you are in danger of reporting everything. I've seen graphics with 12 data points, but then they were part of like one of 2, not just the whole thing by itself. And in this example, in the graphic that we see here, we don't see the most important sentence in the instructions, which is on every IELTS Task 1 since 2008. I don't know exactly when, but it's on all of them now. And that sentence, I hope I remember it correctly, it says, summarize the information by selecting and reporting the main features and make comparisons where relevant. I've done whole videos about what the importance of these words are, but this is what they mean in the band descriptors when they talk about the requirements of the task. To do well, to get a high score, you need to fully cover all the requirements of the task. And here's what those requirements are. Summarizing. Selecting the main features. That means you're leaving some out. Okay? Selecting means picking some and leaving others behind. Reporting accurately and make comparisons where relevant. Now, relevant means pertaining to about the most important, pertaining to what we're talking about. Relevant. And what we're talking about in Task 1 are the main features. So they have to be comparisons of the main features, or at least they should be if you want to get high marks. So let's analyze this for a moment. That's the first step, right? Is to analyze the graphic. Another slide here? Yeah. Okay, well, what do you see? Well, first of all, you want to ask yourself, what does it show? Well, it says right here. The graph shows the amounts, I suppose that's accurate, of waste produced by 3 companies over a 15-year period of time. Okay. And what are these numbers? What do they mean? Oh, they mean tons. And because of that spelling, I know it's metric tons. And what can I deduce by these, where they are? Well, 3, 6, 9, it's in units of 3. And you can easily divide these into thirds and see that, for example, here, that would be the number 4. Okay, up here, 1 above 6, that would be 7. This just below 9 would be 8. Well, actually, no, that's not a spot. That's a spot. That's 8. That's 9. So that's 8.5. About. Okay. Well, that's what it shows. Where does it start? In the year 2000. Okay. And where does it end? 2015. 15 years later. And then let's look at what we can add together. Okay. This is not a math test, but it doesn't take that much to take 4 and 8. Those two together is 12, which is where this one starts. Aha! There's a comparison right there. In 2000, Company A, produced as much waste as companies B and C put together. Now, that's a main feature. So 12 and 12 is 24. Where is it here? 10, down to 8, down to 3. That's 21. Okay, so the overall, for all three companies, the overall trend is reduction of waste, with one big exception, of course, being Company C. From least to most. Now there's a use of highest and lowest that makes sense. Highest, lowest, in this instance, yes. Okay, but highest and lowest over time. So here we have our candidates report. At first glance, from group member, not even has their own name on it, but group member it appears to be, come on, appear. Ah, here it comes. Okay, yeah. All right, it's got the 4-paragraph structure with a short sentence to start, and we got our overview and 2 body paragraphs. Okay, this person knows the structure to use, and this is the structure you should use for what it should look like. But on closer inspection, to prepare for, you won't have time to do this in the test, but for the sake of analysis here, I've dumped this into wordcounter.net, a free website, and it tells me 157 words. Fine, perfect. 63 of those were unique. So the other 94 were repeated. Okay, 7 sentences. 1 sentence was 12. Average sentence 23. That's a good length. 4 paragraphs. Yes. Takes you 12.5 minutes to write it. All right. What else do we find? We find that the word company was used 11 times out of 157. That's 15% of the whole amount. With these other ones used in 5, 6. Some companies, oh look, here's companies, plural, used 3 times. It's 14. It's almost 10% of the entire, well, these are of the unique words. So, wow, a lot of repetition we're going to see. Okay, group member, what do you got? Come on, click. All right. So, the line graph compares 3 companies in terms of their waste output between the years 2000 and 2015. Not bad. Okay. It paraphrases adequately. Compares 3 companies, that's repeated, in terms of their waste output. In terms of that word, terms of waste output. We'll see that again. Okay. Now, actually, yellow here is for word choice. The graph doesn't compare anything. You compare it. The graph illustrates or shows. If it says shows, use illustrates. If it says illustrates, use shows. Comparing is something that is done with words, not pictures. Okay, so my color coding here. Green is grammar. Yellow is word choice or vocabulary. Lexical resources. These correspond to the band descriptors. Blue is cohesion and coherence. And red is task achievement. Okay, overall, after overall, we're going to need a comma. You should start your overview with overall, so that's good. Overall, comma, we can see that, no comma there, so move that comma over there, that the company A. Why the? We don't need the there, because we haven't talked about it before, and it's pretty unique, but I would just say company A. That company A was the highest in terms of waste. Wait, in terms of waste. We said the same thing. In terms of waste produced among the three companies. Really now? Well, we already determined that those two added together was the same as that where it started. We had them together in 2005, and now it's more than those two. In any case, it is not the highest. And what does it even say that? I mean, because at the end of the time, as you can see, it's not the highest anymore. It's second highest. So, what's the highest? Your first line of your overview is inaccurate, and it's, why did you write it? Because you're a slave to the highest and lowest. Whoops. Such as. Don't use such as at the start of a sentence. Blues, yeah, that's a bad connector. Such as company A, what? Company A, B, and company C. You could say company A, B, and C, but you're such as company A, B, and C from 200 to 2015. What? That's not a complete sentence. On the other hand, no, don't use that in task 1. That's for ideas. On the other hand, during the same years, comma, the company C was the lowest than 2 companies. Okay, that should be green for grammar. You don't use lowest with than, among, where it was lower than the other 2 companies, and it's not. It clearly exceeded company B in 2010 and was the highest at the end. So this is red for task achievement because you have not identified the most important features. In fact, you have misidentified the features and reported them wrongly, incorrectly. That'll be a big, big hit on task achievement. All right, let's look at the body paragraphs. Okay, so ideally, once you've laid out your overview, your body paragraphs should mirror that overview. So you've got your 2 sentences in your overview, reporting one main feature, summarizing it, and the other one summarizing the other main feature. And then your body paragraphs should mirror, so your first body paragraph should discuss the first main feature, and your second body paragraph should talk about the second. From the beginning to end of the years, anytime you start a sentence with a time clause like this one, you should have a comma at the end of it. The company A, which is just like the last one, the company A output a significant proportion of waste. Well, what is significant? Significant is a judgment. It's 12 metric tons. Compared to what? Well, I guess it's as much as the other 2 combined. That you could say. But significant proportion, no. You could say that 50% of all of it came from them. Waste in tons. Between company A and B, between company A and B, we're just talking about company A. Oh, okay. While company C produced an insignificant amount. No. 3 metric tons of waste is not an insignificant amount. In terms of, there's that word, those words again. In terms of their waste in the same years. Of course it's the same years. Wow. What? This is not summarizing, and it's not accurately reporting the change over time. Once again, we just don't start your paragraphs the same way. From start of the 200 yays. Please proofread your reports before you submit them to the group. There's the company A again. It's just the same structure. Procreated. Oh, I love that. Procreate means to have sex. Yeah, to produce children. Okay, company A made love exactly 12%. Now, where did percentages come from? How did we... you just mistook it. You think these are percentages now, and they're not. They're metric tons. Until... This is spelled wrong. Till, T-I-L-L, is a word. Until, with 2 L's, is not. Until, if we're going to examine between companies B and C, while company C, same structure. And in terms of, and at this point, it just becomes sort of incoherent. Don't understand it. Doesn't make any sense. And I don't think you understood what you were looking at. And probably shouldn't be practicing writing essays until your English level is at the point where you can look at something like this and have the language skills needed to summarize, okay, so that people can understand clearly, report accurately, and there are no comparisons anywhere in this report. So my return here to video projects for video reporting of group members, in this case literally a group member, it wasn't so good. But take a look at the other videos on my channel, subscribe, and you'll go back and look at some of the other task ones, and you'll learn what you need to do. This is Joko signing off. Bye-bye.